Hello and welcome back to live coverage of the Apex Gaming $5,000 Modern Open here at Apex Con. I'm Tandy, joined by Ross Merriam. So hi, Ross.
Hi, Ross.
We've had a long day so far, but we got 3 rounds left in the books. We have our top 8. Ross, give us a rundown of the 8 players, the decks, and the matchups.
Well, starting on one side of the bracket, we have 2-seed Cameron Lance on Bant Nadu, only Nadu player in the top 8. So if you're a fan of the bird, she's your hero. If you're not a fan, like many, she's your villain. She's going to be playing against Tyler Andrews on Jeskai Control, actually our most represented deck in the top 8 with 3 copies. So yesterday it looked like Esper Goryo's was the Bant Nadu killer. Today it looks like Jeskai Control is, and Cameron will be up against it on that matchup in the quarterfinals. That's going to be one of our backup features. The other match on that half of the bracket is Jacob Endicott, also on Jeskai Control, against Brendan Lane, who's one of the players playing Demir Control with the One Ring and Shieldred and Murktide Regent. That deck doing quite well today as well. We'll have an interesting matchup against Jeskai. That's our other backup feature. The match that is fully off camera is our 4-5 match, Josh Engel and Chase Ballard. They are both playing the Gruul Eldrazi Through the Breach deck, so they're going to be on a mirror where it's really just going to be a race. Yeah. Who can through the breach first? So that one should be fast and furious, and one of them will move on to the top 4. And then finally our 1-8 matchup, which is where we'll be starting under the lights, is Ryan Hayes, the #1 overall seed on Jeskai Control, has run roughshod over the Swiss both days today, made top 8 yesterday, was felled in the quarterfinals by Esper Goryo's.
Oh yeah, Fumage put him down.
No Esper Goryo's in the top 8 today, so
even though it was the most played deck and did very well yesterday.
Yeah, ended up taking 9th on Breakers in the hands of Joe Harwell, so heartbreaker for him, and Esper Goryo's misses out on a top 8 today. But Ryan Hayes doesn't have to fear that matchup at all. He's going to be up against Matt Sims on Mardu Energy, and Ryan has fared quite well against the energy decks throughout this tournament.
Yeah, the Boros Core. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. The head judge asked me a question. Judge, can you go get him and just tell him to come ask me the question? Because I don't really know what he wants me from.
I think he wants to know where he wants everybody seated. We're trying to get everybody down so we can keep going. Our director is out talking to him. They'll get it squared away.
All right, cool. So that's where we're going to be starting with the Jeskai Control deck versus Mardu Energy. What I want to talk about was that specific matchup in particular, because we've seen it a few times already, and we've seen the card Wrath of the Skies be particularly potent against them.
Yeah, Wrath and Flage. It's that combination, deal with the early creatures with the Wrath. They have a follow-up creature. You Flage that one. Then you escape the Flage with Arena of Glory, and that's really what locks up the game. So, that's what Matt is up against. So far, the energy players have not had any success against Ryan. Really, nobody except Jacob Fumich yesterday
who has
had any success.
One guy all weekend has beat him.
Yeah.
So.
Matt is playing a list with Thoughtseize as part of the Black Splash. Sure. That should help quite a bit.
Agreed.
Can nab Wrath of the Skies.
But Matt's also great against the One Ring.
Yeah, and
not something that's present in the blue, red, whites.
Also gives you a flash threat, so you can play around sweepers a little bit more easily. So the Black Splash should help Matt Sims out a little bit, but he's got an uphill battle facing this matchup and this player in Ryan Hayes.
All right, so before we start the top 8, I want to tell y'all a little bit about what the players are playing for today. So 9th through 16th place each received 10,000 prize wall tickets, which is pretty close to about $100 worth of stuff. They can use that to get uncut foil sheets if they have enough tickets accumulated over the weekend. They can use that to get booster packs, a number of
secret layers. There's a ton of stuff over on
the secret layers on there are really cool, but also giant cards.
I love the oversized cards.
Yeah, I love them. 5th through 8th place each getting $250 cash. 3rd and 4th each getting $500 cash. 2nd place $700 cash, and 1st place 1,500 bones up top. It's a big prize. They're also playing for a hefty amount of leaderboard points. 17th place, everyone who plays in the tournament, 17th and below, each get 1 point for participation. 9th through 16th get 5 leaderboard points. 5th through 8th each get 10 leaderboard points. 3rd and 4th with 15 points. 2nd with 20 points. And 1st for 25 points. At the end of the year, the top 8 players on the leaderboard get some cool stuff.
In particular, they'll be getting a buy at that $20,000 invitational in November. So starting off that tournament with a win is quite a prize to strive for.
Yeah, agreed. And I believe they're also going to have some custom jerseys made out too, which is pretty sweet. So maybe we'll get Kyle to toss in 2 extra, one for me and you, so we can be part of the gang. All right. So that's what the players are playing for, and that's who we're going to be watching. So the players are just about ready in the feature match area. We'll be heading down there shortly. Uh, Ryan did get first seed in the event, going 6-0-1. He's going to be on the play throughout the entire top 8 if he wins.
Yeah, so let's head down there and get this top 8 started.
All right. It's the quarterfinals. Let's go. On your right, Ryan Hayes with Jeskai Control. On your left, Matt Sims with Mardu Energy. This is a Boros base, but Orchestra Master, Thought Season, some sideboard cards, all quite good. We did see a version with Obnixilis. That's not this version, right?
No, he's got the Thought Seizes. Basic plain start here from Ryan Hayes was very strange.
Yeah.
Okay, has Mystic Gate as
this
his
makes
other
way
land.
more sense.
It's still awkward. It suggests he doesn't have any shock lands, any fetch lands, any surveil lands, because any of those would have been the turn 1 play over the plains.
Yeah, I agree. Could have Tune the Narrative. Could have Counterspell.
Also, Arena of Glory or Sparrow's Headquarters. Maybe he has the Cascade Bluffs as well and is going to need to awkwardly use the filter lands. But I think that's the only other land Ryan could possibly have here. I guess more basics.
All right, well, here is Raptor. It looks like we have Spell Snare for it with a blue or white floating. We're going to use that to play Tune the Narrative and gain 2 energy. Find Sacred Foundry too. So we're cooking. What looked like a potentially awkward start now looks a lot better thanks to that Mystic Gate. All right, another Counterspell drawn.
So does Ryan have a discharge here to take care of Guide of Souls and hold up Counterspell?
Well, I guess not. Playing that tap. Going to just hold up Counterspell. I see his Subtlety hanging out in there as well. Going to go back to Matt Sims. Finds another red card. I'm going to lead off here with a Thought Seize. Take a peek. I want to know what's in your hand too, Ryan.
This will likely meet the Counterspell. Yep. The Thought Seize is going to take the Counterspell anyway. Ryan says you're not going to get any information. I don't care about your life total.
Guide of Souls gains a life and an energy. We're up to 1. Smash in for 1. Hayes down to 18 thanks to not drawing any of his fetches. Sims does miss land 3, though. A common thing for these red-white decks. Ross and I talked about this on the way up, and he said, how do you miss land drops? You play like 20, 23, 24 lands.
22 lands in Sims list. Still a healthy number.
All right, Arena of Glory is a land drop for Ryan Hayes here. Now has up to 4 mana online, including Subtlety. Ooh, attack with 2 Guide of Souls. Ryan Hayes not going to try to ambush here. Going to try to get full value out of Subtlety, but Matt says go, and Ryan draws for turn. Finds pending.
Looks like a Force of Negation in hand. The Subtlety you mentioned. I'm not sure what the 4th card is. Is that a 2nd Subtlety?
Unclear. That Thought Seed is not resolving, and we didn't get a great look at that. In a turn, Ryan says pass, and no Bowmaster from Sims. Just going to draw. Going to play a Raptor.
This will likely meet a Subtlety.
Yeah, and that falls right into Ryan's trap. We're going to play the Subtlety, and now the Guide of Souls are going to be bricked.
Spell Snare is the other card in Hayes' hand. Could have snared the Raptor, but the Snare will find a target later in the game, and getting the Subtlety down against these Guide of Souls is quite valuable.
Yeah, and you can see there, even though Amped Raptor are quite strong on a relatively dense board, Matt Sims says, I'm going to put it on the bottom. We need a land number 3 so I can start deploying these powerful 3-drops. Hayes going to go ahead and fetch with Arid Mesa, finds Meticulous Archive, giving him plenty more blue and white mana. Going to get a Surveil.
Yeah, Ryan Hayes' mana base is now perfect, essentially. He's found the lands he needed. Now he needs to find one of his Haymakers. He needs Flage or the One Ring.
We got plenty of those in the deck and plenty of ways to dig for them.
There's one. There it is.
Yeah, and if we have Counterspell backup here, we can play Flage with that Counterspell backup, but I'm not sure that's what it is.
He has Snare and Force of Negation. Okay. That covers most anything you care about.
Okay. Yeah, and everything else you just kind of let it go. Like, okay.
Yeah, Snare plus Force of Negation covers everything except another Guide of Souls, an Ocelot Pride, and a Flage.
Yeah, but Flage on the front side it hurts, but it doesn't hurt that bad.
Exactly, yeah. You can let those go pretty easily. So I imagine we will see the Flage this turn take out one of the guides in play. And Ryan could even start attacking with the Subtlety. He's going to go up to 18.
I would love a Subtlety attack.
Oh, yeah.
We're just going to clear both Guide of Souls, and with only 2 mana, Matt Sims here going to be in some trouble against this Flage. Let's see if he has anything here to counter it.
He has a Static Prison in hand, so that can answer the Flage for a time.
Sims here quickly fetching, finds land number 3 in Marsh Flats. Going to go looking through the deck. Likely going to get something in Cast Flage here, be my guess. Fable seems like a losing play.
Fable could get Force of Negation, and then Ryan with the Arena will have a Hasted Flage. That's a 15-point attack, or a 15-point turn.
And here it is. Flage going to kill the Subtlety.
Okay. Sims will go up to 15 from the Flage trigger, so Ryan's Flage is not lethal. But the Force of Negation on Static Prison will likely end this first game.
Yeah, I think Ryan is... Normally you want to kind of wait on Flage so you can kill something and you just sit back, draw cards. But with the way that this game has gone, you know, and the Force Negation in hand, we can play that tempo game and we can just zap you for 12 this turn. Force Negation any answer you have, and then the game's over. Now, if Sims draws an Arena of Glory of his own and hastes his own Flage to fight back, that could be a way for him to maybe claw back into the game through the Force of Negation.
Yeah, and just any land casting the Flage will then threaten to trade. But Ryan's still going to go for his own Titan. And holds up that Spell Snare plus Force of Negation.
Mm-hmm. All right, 12, yeah. Gain 6, up to 24. Boom.
Pulling the Arena out of the sleeve to communicate that
Oh
it's
my
exerted.
God. We drew it. What a perfect draw. Arena of Glory, escapes Flage, and now who's in the driver's seat, Ross?
Yeah, that was a pretty good draw. 2 copies of that in both lists, actually.
All right, well, we can cycle the Lord Revealed, or we can just cast it.
Maybe that's what I thought was a Spell Snare in hand, and it's been a Lorien Revealed this entire time. So, with the exerted Arena, Ryan will need a land to actually cast the Lorien Revealed. Finds Cascade Bluffs. Probably the best land he could have drawn, since it costs him no life.
1, 2, 3. Finds another Fawn. Any subtleties in chats?
I think there's a ring.
Ring and a pending. So we have it covered next turn, but we're going to get blasted here. And I see a bolt in Matt's hand, so a lot of potential damage coming through here.
It looks like Static Prison, Lightning Bolt, Amped Raptor, and Fable of the Mirror Breaker back for Matt Sims. A very solid hand.
Tacky for 9. Gain 3.
So Hayes will fall to 9. Sims will gain 3 up to 12.
And now if you're Sims, do you run out the Raptor or do you play the Fable? He's really thinking about it. He's going to buy Gigantha instead. Wow. Interesting. I guess wanting to maybe haste it with the Arena of Glory should that Flage fall. It's a big threat of damage.
Maybe also doesn't want to lose multiple permanents to a Wrath of the Sky, since Ryan hasn't cast one of those yet.
Good call. But does want to use his mana efficiently.
Yeah.
Can also still bolt on the inside, putting Ryan down to 6.
I do see a Spell Snare in Ryan's hand, so he might have just had both Lorien Revealed and Snare.
Yeah, I think he had it all. Alright, we can pending the Flage. We can play the Ring. A couple different options here. Can't quite escape the Flage. Here's the Ring.
Nice to have protection against this Arena. Threatening haste creatures.
Sims here may bolt upstairs in response, just to use mana efficiently. I think that's what we're waiting on here.
I think I'd rather hold the bolt and not let Ryan know exactly how much life he has to play with.
Alright, Ring gonna draw. Finds a land, we're gonna play it. We can go ahead and fetch here, and then pending on the Flage, and with Ring protection, we should be relatively set. This should go get Island to not take too much damage, and that plus the other 2 dual lands allows for X equals 3.
And the Prismatic Ending represents a 6th card in the graveyard, so Flage plus 5 to pay the escape cost.
Yeah, and that plus Arena of Glory does threaten lethal next turn, should Matt not put up any resistance. Here we go. Matt going to go ahead and fetch. Digging through the deck for likely a Surveil land.
Yeah, it does have 2 Surveil lands in his list, Elegant Parlor and Raucous Theater. Went for the Parlor initially, and now maybe thinking better of it, goes for the Rakdos Surveil.
Yeah, I think he just realized he only had 1 black mana, whereas he has 2 white mana already and tons of red, I guess. Doesn't have access to Shadowy Backstreet. Top card.
He's giving it a thinker.
Yeah, he's got Static Discharge in hand, so he's trying to sculpt a turn here where he can maybe take out the ring and deploy some threats.
There was a Johnny that got left on top from the Surveil. The awkward thing with this prison is that you kind of want to use it on the Flage.
Well, being sorcery, it's going to take a full turn cycle to deal with it. Does have Discharge and Bolt in hand, but we have Force of Negation to stop the static prison, and Ring's going to stick around.
Yeah, Lorien Revealed gets pitched to that Force. Card draw no longer necessary with the Ring around.
Here's Johnny. With 2 energy in play, Ryan actually can potentially go for Wrath of the Skies plus Flage Haste. Currently, that will not be enough against the Bolt Discharge in Sims's hand, but we'll see how Ryan wants to play this turn. Looks like 3 blue cards in hand, though. I wonder if he's sniffed out the 2 red burn spells and maybe doesn't use the Arena of Glory. Maybe just brings back the Flage and keeps his land for next turn.
Well, gonna see what he draws off the Ring first. Looked like Subtlety Plains. Also has Force Negation in hand, so could go for Flage first, holding up Force. Make sure he gets the attack in.
Yeah, I like it. And since I don't think he has a proactive way to clear the Ajani, so I think just doing that in general is fine.
Though he has to be careful about how he taps to leave up double blue. And yeah, Ryan setting everything aside. That's enough mana for a hasty Flage while holding up all of his interaction, Subtlety, and Force Negation. So starting with the Flage makes a lot of sense. Kill the Ajani first so it doesn't transform. Though, even if it did transform, the Flage attack would kill it.
Alright, and here is a Lightning Bolt on the Flage. Ryan says...
Okay to that.
Thumbs up. And we got a Discharge on the Flage. Ryan says... Force Negation.
Not okay to that.
Alright. Now we get to attack. We're going to zap the token for 3, gaining 3 more life. Sims down to 5.
And Ryan up to 13. Still has Spell Snare, Subtlety in hand. So if Sims can find the second Static Prison, that would be the best draw. Looks like Justin and Johnny, and that is not going to do it.
Yeah, we have Fable, Johnny. I think that's enough blockers to not be dead, but...
Spell Snare the Ajani, and then the Flage takes out the Goblin Shaman.
Alright.
Not to mention the 4 extra cards Ryan is going to see next turn between Draw Step and the One Ring activation.
Spell Snare. Takes care of the Johnny, and Matt packs it in. Game 1 goes to Ryan Hayes on Jeskai Control. Can he be beat? Can he be stopped, Ross?
And not by these energy decks, apparently. He's been making mincemeat out of them all day.
Yep. All right, well, as these players move to their sideboards to get some help, I'm going to get some help from Ross. Hey, what do you think about this Mardu energy deck? How do you think he's going to sideboard against Ryan Hayes' Jeskai Control?
Well, I see in the sideboard 3 Blood Moon, 1 Bone Crusher Giant, 1 Celestial Purge, 2 Damping Sphere, 1 Harsh Mentor, the Giganthic Companion, 2 Rakdos Charm, 2 Unlicensed Hearse, and 2 Wear Tear. Based on what I've seen in this matchup, I want to bring in the Bone Crusher Giant, I want to bring in the Hearses, and I want to bring in the Blood Moons and just try to get them.
Yeah, I like it. On the other side of the table, Ryan Hayes is up a game on the draw against Mardu Energy. How is he going to approach this matchup after sideboard?
Ryan's sideboard is 2 Celestial Purge, 3 Consign to Memory, 2 Drannith Magistrate, 1 Invert Polarity, 3 Obsidian Charmaw, 2 Soul Guide Lantern, and 2 Supreme Verdict. I like the Purges, and I like the Verdicts. We've seen Ryan bring in Soul Guide Lantern for Flage in this matchup. I'm questionable of that, but at this point, I'm not questioning Ryan.
Yeah, why would you? Can't lose. Full heart. Or full heart.
Clear eyes,
full
heart,
heart.
can't lose. Coach
All right.
Eric Taylor.
All right, as these players shovel up here for game number 2, I'd like to take this time to say thank you to the sponsors for this weekend's festivities. Thank you so much to Ultimate Guard. Ultimate Guard is the industry leader in TCG supplies, from the Boulder deck box to the Katana sleeves. Check your local game store today for Ultimate Guard supplies. Thank you to Wings Etc. Grill and Pub. Wings Etc. is a great place to take friends and family for a bite and a drink, to watch some sports, have a good old time. Ross and I had a good old time there last night. Thanks to Ghost Energy. Ghost Energy is the thing keeping me awake right now, if I'm being honest. The tropical mango, quite good, but the energy is the thing that I need.
We're reaching the end of a long weekend. This is round 18 of 20.
A lot of rounds.
Two tournaments with 7 rounds of Swiss and 3 elimination rounds. We're going to make it, Todd. Don't worry.
I'm almost there. And lastly, thank you so much to SpiceRack.gg, brand new tournament software that we've been partnering with to run our events over the last few months. Check out SpiceRack.gg if you run tournaments yourself and see if you like their platform. All right, our backup matches. I'm curious how they're going, but it looks like Brendan Lane and his opponent are between games. I'm curious, or are they between matches? Maybe we're done.
Maybe. That was the Demir Control against Jeskai Control, so not a match I would expect.
They're probably not done. They're probably in game 2.
But, maybe Psychic Frog came down early both games and ran away with it.
It do be like that.
All glory to the Hypno Toad.
I know you're a big Simpsons guy. I'm a big Futurama guy. We've talked about it a little bit, but how big of a Futurama guy are you?
I've seen most of it.
Yeah. Did you see most of just like the original runs? Or...
Yeah.
Okay. So did you see any of the movies back in like 2010 or whatever they came out with?
No. But I know of them.
Yeah. Most recent season on Hulu. It's tough. It's tough.
Okay,
All right.
Players have drawn their hands.
Let's go. Matt Sims looks like he's going to keep. I see some lands and some spells. Ryan Hayes, though, not going to keep. Going to toss it back. I ran out of stuff to talk about.
Well, wish Sims would pick his hand back up. I want to get a look at it. I saw some white cards in it, but I don't know if those are static prisons or 1-drops. And having the 1-drops, I think, is very important in this matchup. You've got to be able to play from ahead.
Let's go beat on the glass. Matt, show me your hand.
Let me in.
Oh, I was thinking of the Wayne's World. Cassandra! Cassandra!
All of our references are so old.
That's because we are so old, buddy. But that doesn't make them any worse. Just makes them like a fine wine.
Okay, I see Island Plains, Flooded Strands, Solitude, and I think a Wrath of the Skies.
Perfect.
In Hayes'
Classic
hand.
Blue Eye Control deck.
Might be a second Flooded Strand, too. Is he keeping 4 lands, Sweep, or Solitude? Fine by me.
Arid Mason, no 1-drop from Matt Sims. I think Ocelot Pride is a great 1-drop against the Jeskai control deck because they have to have Galvanic Discharge on one or it goes wide very quickly.
Okay. One of the Azorius lands was not a Flooded Strand for Hayes. It was the Singleton Meticulous Archive. So he plays that and mills a superfluous land into the graveyard. Sim's going to find one of his Surveil lands, no doubt. Elegant Parlor or Raucous Theater. Going for the theater.
Yep, that's going to fix our colored mana here. Now we have black, red, and I believe we have a plains in hand as well. So we should have access to all our colors. Johnny or Bowmaster on 2, maybe an Amped Raptor. Or my favorite, Amped Raptor into Galvanic Discharge.
Mills over Static Prison. Only 2 copies of those in the deck, and they can be very important against the One Ring and Flage, but looks like Sims is digging for some more threats. Might have the second copy already in hand.
Here's the Raptor. +2 energy. Oh, Guide of Souls down to 2
Okay.
energy. That's a great find.
That's a hit.
A lot of pressure here. Hayes gonna go back his way.
And, well, the Amped Raptor should enter after the Guide of Souls and get Sims.
No, it's ETB. It's not a cash.
Oh, it's ETB. Okay.
Yeah, it comes in, gains 2, then you flip. Land number 3 here for Sims. If we play creature pre-combat, we can get the buff from the Guide of Souls. But I'm not going to do it. Just is jamming for 3. Maybe not even going to play anything else. And yeah, passes back. Ryan Hayes might want to play some energy generator here and wrath these 2 creatures away. But for Matt Sims, it's just a 1-for-1 trade.
Ooh.
Is this bait? This feels like bait.
Matt wants to get the extra Bowmaster trigger, and all that's going to accomplish is losing the Bowmaster to Wrath of the Skies.
All right. Tune the narrative, resolves. Bowmaster deals an extra damage. A lot of pressure here on Ryan, but we think he's got Wrath of the Skies to clean this up, and thanks to Tune the Narrative, going to be gaining some extra energy along the way. All right, players here are just doing some bookkeeping, making sure they have life totals correct. The Guide of Souls gained 2 from the Orcish Bowmaster tokens, or token in itself. We had a fetch land, so it should be 21. And now Hayes took 2 from the Bowmaster, no fetch land yet. And then a 3-point attack.
Now it's going to fetch down to 14.
Yep. Maybe he's going to find planes, but if he's lacking red mana, may go get Sacred Foundry and take some damage. Life total is still high enough where it's okay to take a little bit, but he did not end of turn crack the fetch, which I was very surprised by.
Does find planes, so valuing his life total is Ryan.
Also may be slightly scared of post-board Blood Moon. That is a regular thing in these Mardu energy decks.
Yeah. We saw it get one control player today. Ryan doesn't want to make it 2.
All right, spending all of our energy, then playing Thundering Falls. We keep drawing our Surveil lands.
Fine by me.
Yeah. Keeps that on top, says go.
Yeah.
Probably another land, but maybe the One Ring if he's already got a land in hand.
And note that even though that Wrath of the Skies nominally killed 4 creatures, it was only a 2-for-1 because both the Amped Raptor represented 2 cards and the Bowmaster represents 2 bodies. So not the worst to give up a 2-for-1 against an opposing sweeper as the aggressive deck. And this Mardu Energy deck has plenty of card advantage to be able to recover from that.
Marsh Flats goes digging, finds Elegant Parlor. Sim's going to be doing a Surveil 1. We're going to see what the top of the deck will bring. Hand looks like Static Prison, Mountain. I couldn't get a good look at the others. Sims draws. That's an Amped Raptor. That's some pressure.
Yeah, it does look like the white card I saw in the opener was Static Prison.
Here's another Raptor. And we find Flage. That won't stick on the battlefield, but it will deal 3 and be pretty threatening on the next turn.
That is a fine hit. Sims had plenty of energy laying around to use on a 3-drop. Trying to get a good look at the rest of his hand, and not sure. That looks like a mountain. Plays his land. There's a lightning bolt. Is that another Flage?
Let me see the deck list. Let's see.
Regardless, Sims has a stocked graveyard, so he can escape Flage next turn. Ryan just passes back, and Sims decides to throw Bolt upstairs. He's going for the jugular.
And for good reason. Ryan's all the way down to 8 already.
And there's a Flage drawn. So between all these Flages and Amped Raptor, Sims has enough damage. See what Ryan has to stop all this burn. I know there's a Solitude in hand, but Solitude doesn't stop burn spells and doesn't block Amped Raptor.
I believe the card we couldn't figure out is Najani.
Ah, that would make sense.
Yeah, it's got a nice frame on it. And I think that Matt just tried really hard not to run headfirst into another sweeper effect. But instead, we're going to run right into a subtlety. Or not. I was wrong. Into turn, cycle Spires headquarters.
There's a Lorien revealed, so that can find Ryan Hayes land 5 to hardcast Solitude.
Yeah, that'd be a nice pickup mid-combat to eat Raptor and then block a Johnny. Hayes just keeps it. Maybe thinks that, or maybe already has the 5th land.
Draws another copy of Solitude. Has Supreme Verdict, so that looks to be the play here.
Bang. If Sims has a removal spell, could kill the 2/1 token and turn the Johnny into a Planeswalker. It's a very common line for the deck, but because his removal in hand is static discharge, unable to do so. There's
Arena. So this is going to threaten lethal with Arena for the Flage in the graveyard, but Ryan can evoke a Solitude. But he is then going to fall to 3, and we know Sims has another Flage in hand.
Yep. Well, let's see what we can do about it. That Flage is gone. Sims up to 29.
The second Solitude gets exiled to evoke the first, and I think Ryan needs a counter spell, and I'm not sure how many counters he leaves in this matchup, because they're typically not very good.
Yeah, maybe another Flage could help him out, but we're going to draw 3 cards. Maybe Subtlety. Subtlety blue card?
Yeah, Force of Negation won't do it. He needs Subtlety.
Finds a Soul Guide Lantern, but it might be a little too late. Took a lot of damage early during the development phase.
Yeah, this is a game where Ryan never found one of his heavy hitters. Never found One Ring, never found Flage. And if you don't find one of those, then the control deck just kind of spins its wheels a lot, and you can grind through all of their interaction.
All right, Zapia. Flage takes it down. We got a deciding game 3. Ryan Hayes going to be on the play. But Matt Sims even it up 1-1. Impressive stuff.
Yeah, winning through multiple sweepers in Supreme Verdict and Wrath of the Skies, a lot of other spot removal. But you need to back that stuff up with card advantage, whether the card advantage comes from repeated Flage triggers or One Ring activations.
All right, well, gonna be looking for some cheap interaction here as Ryan Hayes, some sweepers, but more importantly, gonna be looking for an early Flage. We've seen that card be perhaps the most important card for this Jeskai control deck, acting not only as cheap interaction and life gain, but also as a potent finisher. It seems to me to be one of the better additions for a control deck in quite some time.
Yeah, and the rise of Nadu and the recent dominance of Nadu has really allowed Flage to sneak in under the radar. It has been incredibly powerful, and it is winning a lot of matches across a lot of tournaments. There's 4 players playing it in our top 8 today. There were several yesterday.
Ban Flage. Time to ban Flage, Watsy. All right, Ross, pick a card that's not Nadu to ban. Go.
Grief.
Yeah, I like that pick.
Flage.
Ooh, I don't like that pick. It's too new.
I just know I'm going to lose to Flage way more often than I will ever cast it.
You're like a Underworld Breach guy. You don't care about Flage. Although I guess you are a prowess player also, and you do care about Flage in that deck. Could splash Rain of Gore, like old Body was doing earlier. That's good anti-Flage tech.
I'll just unlicensed Hearse it.
Yeah, the Rain of Gore is just going to get caught up in the Wrath of the Skies and kill all your tokens and stuff too,
Right. Matt Sims taking the mulligan here in game 3. Looks like Ryan is happy with his 7.
Okay. Low resources, not that big of a deal with a deck like Mardu Energy because you have so many things that generate extra bodies, but the games can go long, and missing that extra card late could mean a land drop, could mean the 5th card in the graveyard for the Flage, so don't want to go to 5, but we need a good start here.
And at number 2.
Well, looks like he brought in the Rakdos Charms to exile Ryan's graveyard, noting that the Flages are super important for Ryan's ability to stabilize and close the game We saw him cast it multiple times this tournament already, and it was countered almost every time.
Yeah, here it's not going to get countered since it's on the bottom of the deck. I like that. On 6 cards, you just can't afford to have reactive cards against a control deck. You need to keep all your threats. Ryan or Matt has multiple Guide of Souls, has an Amped Raptor, it looks like, so can come out swinging, and that's what he's got to do.
All right. Guide of Souls off Sacred Foundry. Sims down to 17 off the Fetch Shock. He's going to go 19 off the Arid Mesa. Finds Meticulous Archive. We're going to take a look at the top card of the deck. Haven't gotten a good look at either player's hand, so I'm not sure what exactly we're digging for. I saw Plains, so might not need to land. Let's see what he bends.
Has Plains and fetched for an Azorius land, so presumably has access to red mana as well in hand, does Ryan. He would have gotten a red land with the Mesa anyway.
Keeps the Flage on top, and valuing the ability to cast that manually from hand. Doesn't necessarily want to surveil it to the graveyard just yet.
Yeah, in this matchup, Lightning Helix is a very solid effect.
All right, turn 2 for Matt Sims. Guide of Souls meets a Prismatic Ending and gets exiled.
Yeah, there's an Arena of Glory as Matt's second land and goes for an Amped Raptor.
I wonder if we exert it to deal some extra damage. That would be tight, but there it is. My least favorite play in the deck. We're going to go up to 4 energy here to cast the Discharge.
Yeah, so I got to pay one of the 2 energy from Raptor to cast the Discharge, but don't have to pay any energy of the 3 the Discharge gains. So 2 minus 1 plus 3, we end up with 4.
Looks like we did not exert the Arena of Glory, looking to maybe play Fable of the Mirror Breaker next turn. I do see that poking out of his hand, as well as a land number 3, and it's a fetch land, so we do have access to black mana for that Bowmasters as well.
Yeah, so a very solid 1-2-3 curve here for Matt Sims, but unfortunate on the Amped Raptor trigger. If that had hit something like a Guide of Souls, Ocelot Pride, Bowmasters, a Johnny, he would be in the driver's seat here.
We probably got to play just like a bunch of sideboard cards that are just generically good permanents that we can side out Galvanic Discharge for in this matchup. Because that's the second time that Raptors had discharged so far, and both times I think it's really costing.
Yeah, and it's been a problem across all the energy decks we've seen today. They just don't seem to have a sideboard that is well set up for the control matchup. And I don't think their matchup is good enough for them to ignore Jeskai in the way they seem to be doing.
Hayes here has the option to play Plains into Flage, chooses to fetch a Plains into Flage, valuing the second Plains against something like Blood Moon perhaps, maybe just trying to fill the graveyard. Flage takes down the Raptor though. Ryan back up to 20.
With Flage, just wants to make sure he can escape it through the Blood Moon, so has 1 Plains rolled up, fetches the second copy, and now Blood Moon really isn't that scary with a Flage and 5 cards in the graveyard.
Good call, good call. All right, Blood Crypt's defined here. Matt Sims likely going to be playing Fable the Mirror Breaker this turn. Let's see if he has anything else up his sleeve. Unfortunately, the Arena of Glory on Fable doesn't work together, but that would be kind of cool if it did.
Get some treasures going. Scalding Tar on the draw for Ryan Hayes as Sims passes back after the Fable resolves.
No energy for Ryan, so even if he had a Wrath of the Skies here, couldn't deal with the Fable and the token just for 4 mana. But Big Papa Flage from the graveyard going to come back, zap something for 3, gaining 3 life. The powerful giants eating good tonight.
This card is just so good.
Yeah.
Now Sims needs one of his static prisons.
Chapter 2, Fable.
There's a Thoughtseize in Sims' hand, and there's definitely another Guide of Souls.
We're looking for an answer.
As Thoughtseize Marsh Flats the discards and draws Aether Hub, Orcish Bowmasters. Those do not answer Flage. Arid Mesa is the 4th card Sims is holding.
I don't even think that's a Bowmaster. I think it's another Thoughtseize, which is
another thought. Yeah,
even
you might be
worse.
right.
All right, gonna buy Gantha against an uncontested Flage. Just gonna dome you for 9. Play a ring. What you gonna do about it? It's just a classic Flage game, Ross.
Ryan had turn 1 interact, turn 2 interact, turn 3 flage, turn 4 escape flage.
Yeah.
Otherwise known as the nuts. And it's not that hard to draw.
And turn 5 the ring. No, I agree. Okay, I might be on the banned flage train.
It is a tough card for creature decks to beat.
That's pretty good. How you feel about it versus Uro now?
Again, I think Uro here would also be dominating the game, but
Yeah, but the colors are way worse. Green is such a worse color than like red and white in terms of interaction. So for a control deck, like green, blue, red, green, blue, white, these are much worse color combination, I think, than red, white, blue.
yeah, red and white really got juiced in MH2 with Prismatic Ending, Solitude, Fury that's now abandoned, and Holy Heat, and then we've upgraded on Holy Heat into Galvanic Discharge.
Yeah, it's like the package of Tune the Narrative, Galvanic Discharge, and Wrath of the Skies is awesome.
Yeah, and we see Tune the Narrative, in some lists has even started to get trimmed. Ryan playing the full 4, but I've seen lists with 2 or 3. You don't need that much to enable Wrath and Discharge.
Yeah, but just being able to, on turn 3 or 4, just be able to go 2 cost Wrath, all your permanents, and then hold up a counterspell is just so brutal.
Yeah. The first Tune the Narrative is pretty nice. Usually the second and third are unnecessary.
Sims here looks to be dead. I don't see an answer to the Flage. We're going to cast Gigantha, a classic chump blocking strategy. And we'll see if Ryan can remove both blockers and get it done. Gonna crack fetch, getting Island.
Another Flage would also do it here.
Gonna play Tune the Narrative, draw a card, gain 2 energy.
That's Mystic Gate.
Yeah, don't know if he has it yet. We'll see in just a moment.
Down to 19 from the ring on upkeep. Gonna draw a card. Gonna activate the ring. Draw 2 more cards.
That's 2 more cards. Could be anything. It's like all blue cards though. There's a Supreme Verdict. We don't have enough, unfortunately, to go like attack, deal you 3. Oh, my guy dies. Cycle, fetch, flage you from the graveyard. But that would be cool.
It would be. Instead, it's just going to be a Flage attack, trigger targets the reflection, then Gigantha has to step in the way.
Alright. Top card. Another Wrath of the Skies.
So... yeah.
Still doesn't work. Fable has 3 mana value, unfortunately.
And so does Flage, so...
Right, that's what I'm saying. They're the same, so you can't do it. Alright. Fable down. Gigantha chumps.
Looks like a Spell Snare in hand as well. A Lorien revealed, 2 Wraths, a Verdict, and a couple lands. Hayes plays the Mystic Gate, so Plains is still back. And once again, the player with the 1 ring has an embarrassment of riches. Yeah, that's
so many riches that we're going to be even richer and draw 3 more cards with Lorien revealed.
Yeah, looks like 2 Teferi's Galvanic Discharge for the draws there, so pitches the Supreme Verdict. The sweeper you sided in against the creature deck is unnecessary.
Ooh, Lightning Bolt. That's a good one. Thoughtseize, self. Lightning Bolt, self. Extend hand. Exile your graveyard with Rakdos Charm.
His energy decks are playing too many removal spells. Get some more creatures in your deck.
This is 100% Thoughtseize. You bolt me.
Takes the Galvanic Discharge. Oh, yeah. Come on. Do the honorable thing.
Deal 1. Oh, exile your graveyard. Bolt self! We did it! Matt Sims defeated. Ryan Hayes moves on to the semi-finals. Congrats to him with Jeskai control. And it looks like both of our backup matchups are finished as well.